Namaste yogis, welcome back to the Yoga Habit Challenge. Let's work on plantar flexion of our feet today, and then we'll also find really strong ways to ground through the earth through our feet. So we'll start with that plantar flexion. That's like when your feet are pointed. So come into a kneeling position, Vajrasana, sitting on the tops of your heels and really experiencing the tops of your feet flat against the ground. Now, this isn't going to be comfortable for everyone, so if you have a bolster or a block, you could try placing it on your calves, between your calves and your thighs, to help lift you a little bit, because it's pretty intense flexion of the knee joint. So find the position that feels good for you. You could also take your knees out wider and be sitting on a bolster between your legs. Plenty of options here. And from this position, what you'll do is take hold of the left shin and see if you can just draw your knee a little closer towards you while pressing the top of the foot into the mat. Nice. And see if you can almost resist that by continuing to try to press the knee down even as you pull it up. So you're really pressing the foot down. Just take 3 more breaths like that. It might not feel that pleasant, but we're almost done. And then exhale to lower it down. Now try on the other side, pulling up on the shin. 3 breaths as you really press the foot into the ground, lifting through the knee. Stretching out all the muscles along the shin that sometimes make it difficult to point our feet. And your exhale can lower the shin down. Coming onto all fours, just tap out the tops of your feet onto the mat, whatever feels good there. And then curl your toes under, and we'll take the opposite here. Now dorsiflexion of the feet, a nice toe stretch. We sometimes call this our toe squat in yoga. Sit the hips back over your heels while your toes are curled under. And you can stay like that if that feels too intense, because it can get kind of intense after a few moments. You could also just come down onto your hands so there's not quite as much weight on the toes. Feel that out. Deep breaths. Beautiful. And then we'll put that into some action here, coming back to all fours. Find your knees under your hips. Again, you can tap out the tops of the feet. And then curl your toes under again and exhale back to your downward dog. Already, maybe you feel a bit more mobility in your ankles from that, but pedal it out in your downward facing dog. And then take an inhale to point your toes, lift your heels as high as they can. Keep tipping your pelvis forward here. And then exhale, send your heels over to the right side, lower them down. So now you're stretching through the outer edge of that leg. Keep your chest pressing back. Keep the heels of your hands fully grounded. And then inhale, lift the heels once again, and exhale, take them over to the other side. Breathe through it. Inhale, lifting to center, and exhale, pedaling out once again. All right, then inhale, gazing forwards, hop, step, tiptoe, however you want to arrive to the front of your mat. Find your halfway lift, and then exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Now you're close to your feet. You can really check in with them here, keeping the knees as bent as they need to. See if you can visualize your feet as triangles, the point behind the big toe and the little toe, and the heel forming the 3 points of the triangle. And can you feel if you're firmly grounded through those feet? You can even try gripping your toes back towards you, feeling your arches lift, Pada Bandha, our energy lock of the feet. Find one more breath here. And then with an inhale, engage your pelvic floor muscles, sit your pelvis back as you sweep your arms up into a chair pose. Can you still grip through the feet in that way? Notice how your knees draw slightly open, so you're engaging the muscles along the outer edges of the thighs. Find a deep breath. And then inhale, press into the heels, rise up, palms together, exhale the hands down through heart center. Feel your feet firmly gripping that Pada Bandha, finding firm roots through your feet into the ground. And now we'll do a Tadasana flow, a classical Tadasana flow here with Samasiti and Tadasana. Inhale as you rise up onto your tiptoes, raising the arms, and then exhale, allow it to all float back down. Inhaling up onto the tippy toes, and exhale, floating it all back down. Again, inhaling up, exhaling, releasing. Inhaling up, exhale, release. Notice how your body naturally floats up with your breath. As if you were bobbing in a swimming pool and you were doing this kind of breathing, you would float a little more to the surface with your inhale and sink a little deeper with your exhale. Same here, the inhale naturally floats you up and the exhale naturally sinks you down. Continue breathing in that same way. For an entire sun salutation, lower the heels, draw the belly in, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sinking you back into your plank chaturanga. Inhaling, floating you up as if floating in water for your back bend. Exhaling to your downward dog. Inhaling, floating to the front of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, sinking a little deeper with your forward fold. Inhaling up, rise up onto your tippy toes this time, and let's do that again. Exhaling, sinking down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, floating back, lowering down chaturanga. Inhale, rising up. Exhaling back, downward dog. And inhaling forward to your halfway lift. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, rising all the way up, lift up onto your tippy toes, and then exhale, lowering your arms back down to your sides. Now, remembering that grip through your feet, that pada bandha, we'll find a tree pose, a standing balance pose today by firmly gripping the feet. What you can actually do is lift your toes and lower them, little toe to big toe down, and then feel those toes gripping back towards the heels. If you were to shift your weight forward and back, you feel your weight can be equal through those three corners. Now with that in mind, exhale as you draw your left knee up, take hold of the left shin, and then inhale to open your leg out to the side. You can reach for your ankle to place the foot along the thigh or along the calf or even just down to the ground, wherever you feel nice and steady and balanced today. And then you can bring your hands into heart center. Take any variation for your arms that you'd like. That might be any kind of mudra, maybe cactus arms. However your tree feels strong and graceful today is exactly right. And for those who want a bit deeper challenge, you can exhale to bend your knee, holding the shin in front of you, and then inhale to turn your leg out to the side, placing the foot along the thigh. And what we'll do from here is with hands to heart center, still gripping through the feet, exhale as you bend your knee and come down into a squatting chair pose variation. Take a few breaths there if that feels steady for you. Wherever you are in your tree, just finding a still spot on the ground to stare at your drishti point. If your eyes are still, if your breath is nice and even, maybe you feel your body becoming more still. And then inhale to rise up, raising the knee in front of you. And exhale, lower your hands, lower your leg down. And you can roll out the ankles. That's a lot of time spent in that balance. And we'll do the same on the other side, lifting the toes, lowering them down, gripping through the left foot especially this time. Exhale as you raise the right leg in front of you. First, we'll all take our normal tree variation by inhaling the knee out to the side and then placing the sole of the foot in along the thigh or the calf. It's like your thigh is pressing into your foot just as much as your foot is pressing into your thigh. So you feel the sense of internal squeezing in and up. And taking any hand variation that you'd like. Find your stillness there. And then for those who would like to try the half lotus version, exhaling to raise the leg back in front of you. Inhaling as you tip the leg out to the side so you open the hip so you can place the foot along the thigh. And then exhaling as you squat down. Still with the Padabandha in the foot. Open chest. Nice still spot on the ground. And then inhaling to rise up, lift the knee in front of you, whatever variation you are in. And exhale, lower the hands, lower the foot. Again, rolling out the ankle. Now we'll inhale to raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, lower the knees. Come back into a kneeling position. And sweep the legs around in front of you. Lower all the way down onto your back here. And then take your feet out to the outer edges of your mat for Shavasana. Enjoy your rest here. Connected as we were to the earth through our feet in your Shavasana. Feel how the earth supports you. Feel how it holds and comforts you. Our support, our safety, our security through our connection to the earth. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining. I'll see you tomorrow. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.